Okay, next we'll call to order the Planning Commission meeting. We've already introduced ourselves, so we'll go right to item B. This is the approval of the minutes for May 8th, 2018. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Douglas.
Support.
Support by Mr. Godek. Any discussion on these minutes? Not seeing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Okay. Next, this is a public comment on non-agenda items. Is there anyone here that would like to comment on any non-agenda items? Okay, not seeing. We'll close the public comment period. We'll move right on to new business. This is under D. Site Plan 180617, amendment to Site Plan SP 170719 to construct a 5-level, 82-foot mixed-use building with ground-level retail sales, upper-level professional and medical offices, and a 10-level parking deck on site of the municipal parking lot at 600 South Main Street. Mr. Twing.
This one item, you may recall, was in front of you back in July of 2017, where you approved a different project. This project's being revised. It's being expanded. The one back in 2017 was a 4-story building, some 67 foot in terms of height. It had approximately 19,000 square feet of retail sales space, a little over 77,000 square feet of professional office, and an 8-level parking deck with some 428 spaces. The revision, the petitioner's adding a 5th level to the office space, to the building, and 2 more levels of parking. The overall height now would be 82 feet with about almost 19,000 square feet of retail space, a little over 97,000 square feet of professional and medical office on the upper levels, and the parking deck would be 10 levels with some 556 off-street parking spaces. In terms of planning department's contingencies, they really have not been altered significantly from the prior plan. Petitioner still would have to obtain any leases or for the encroachments into the railroad right-of-way. And then as far as repair and installation of streetscape around the site. So if there's any questions on our report, I'd be happy to address them.
Any questions for Mr. Twing? Okay, not seeing any. Is the petitioner here? Please.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Larry Goss with Downtown Royal Oak, LLC, and John Pavoni, co-manager of that entity. We're here today really asking for this modification. These were tenant-driven requests. The tenant that we've been working with for months that some of you have been hearing about, even prior to our development agreement being executed, has asked us if we could enlarge the property and accommodate a larger square footage, and of course that came with a slightly larger parking deck as well. So we've made those modifications as well as some changes to the exterior of the building. Mr. Twing, I don't know if you can show some of the other renderings that were in part of the package there, but I think they made some improvements, I think, of the elevation of the building, changes on that, on the skin itself from the original proposal. What you're looking at there is the screened parking deck and a piece of the just the 7th Street side, I believe, rather the, 6th Street side. That's a piece of the Main Street elevation there with the entrance that will cut through to the first level of the parking deck and some of the retail on the first floor. I think there's some additional elevations there that show maybe more of a comprehensive view. Like sections. In any event, it continues to be essentially stone, brick, and glass, and we are excited that this tenant is talking about bringing between 300 and 400 daytime employees, professionals to the building, and obviously they've asked us to make these changes, so we'll be in front of you to try to get that accomplished. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Ms. Douglas?
Yes, so the change in appearance is tenant-driven?
Yes,
Because I really liked the other one.
it was nice. It
was cool, it was
very
different.
modern. This particular tenant has still a modern look. They're looking forward to the future, but they thought that this was actually more in keeping with the downtown Royal Oak flavor.
Okay, hope they're paying you a lot of money.
So too.
Any other questions for the petitioner? Who's the tenant? Can you say?
I can't disclose that to you. I hope to be able to release that information to you soon, but unfortunately, we're under a non-disclosure agreement right now.
Okay, it's fair. Mr. Godek?
Has the basic footprint in terms of setbacks and all that been maintained?
Yes, sir.
It's identical.
Basically, it was just a vertical change.
I guess this can also be for Mr. Twing. The building has increased 25% in size. Parking, as far as the details in terms of what's required for office space and its use, are we looking at any deficiencies here? Or?
No, there's no requirement for parking in the CBD for office or retail space.
If there was, would it fall in some of the recommended?
I don't know that we ran a number for usable space.
Have you guys run numbers on usable parking space for your tenants?
We have, and again, the additional roughly 100 spaces, John, if I'm not mistaken, you have the exact count there, was also tenant-driven. Essentially, there's about 100,000 square feet of office and the 19,000 square foot of retail. Don't forget, we also have the 154 spaces, I believe it is, of transient parking on the first level and some of the second level to replace what's there in addition to what the tenant needed, which was roughly 400 spaces,
Which is about 4 per 1,000.
which is essentially on 100,000 square feet, 4 per 1,000.
Like transient spaces, those are open to the public
Correct.
all hours of the day? Or
Yes. And in fact, the office spaces after hours and weekends are available to the public as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the petitioner? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's back to this side of the table. Any further discussion, or is there a motion? Ms. Douglas?
I'll move approval of the change in the plan with the conditions as specified.
Your support?
One second.
Support by Mayor. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, not seeing. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other business, Mr. Twing?
Well, I'd say rough calculations, they'd need about 340 spots.
They got 400 just for office.
Right. Depends on what you use for usable.
Right.
Thank you. Is there any other business under me? Okay. So do we need to formally adjourn this and then
Yep.
how would?
And then go into open a closed session.
Oh, okay. So is
Just a
there,
motion to adjourn into closed session would probably work.
okay.
Is that a closed session?
Or, excuse me, a work session.
Yeah, work session.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn into a work session.
Motion made. Is there support?
Board.
Support by Mr. Casada. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We are now into a work session with the City Commission, who is here this evening. Thank you.